Downtown Rockford is one of more than 2,500 locations across the country where people gathered for No Kings demonstrations against the Trump administration. People held signs and chanted as they marched through downtown, all aimed at promoting government accountability and opposing what organizers call growing authoritarianism. WIFR reporter Mike Walsh has more from today's event.
We're just out here saying we love our country and we love democracy.
More than 1,000 people packed downtown Rockford Saturday for the No Kings protest, marching through the streets for what they call a push for accountability and our freedoms.
It's all about standing up for democracy and the protections that we have taken for granted.
Organizers say the rally, which started and finished at City Market Pavilion, brought together one of their largest crowds to date.
We had a great event in June too, so it's awesome to see kind of the same or better turnout. I think a lot of people, feel frustrated or alone or, angry, and so it's nice to come together and have a safe, peaceful event.
However, not everyone in the country agrees a protest is the way to solve things.
The Democrats have resorted to protesting and screaming and holding banners and walking around signs and have people honking horns, but that's not addressing the compare contrast between the Democrat and the Republican Party, as the Republicans are putting forward ideas and implementing them, and the Democrats are just complaining about it.
And with the two sides being so far apart, Senator Chesney is calling for some accountability as well.
The Democrats need to get back to work, get to the middle, and have a robust debate rather than pandering to the left that include many people that don't love our country.
In Rockford, Mike Walsh, WIFR News.
Organizers say they hope to host more events in the future and generate even higher turnout.